You were living in your aunt's house? About a week after that, I went to the Hotel Prince George. The Prince George Hotel? Yes. Where were you the afternoon of December 704? In my house. What were you doing in your apartment that afternoon? I was cooking and I had music on. Was Gilbert, your son, in your apartment that afternoon? Defendant's counsel. I object to the leading at this point, Your Honor, and ask Your Honor to admonish counsel not to lead, please. He had arrived between 4 and 5 from work. What did Gilbert do? Do you know when he got home from work? He came in. He asked me, Mom, serve me because I'm hungry. He checked the food, went to the room. He told me he was going to clean up first. What room did he go to? To his room. Plaintiff's counsel. Your Honor, with the court's permission, I would ask that we put what is designated as People's Exhibit 1 in evidence on the easel for all to see. The court. It will be put on this easel by the court officer, yes. Would you please take a look at People's Exhibit 1 in evidence, which is to your left up on the easel? Yes. Do you see that diagram? Yes. How does the diagram compare to your apartment in 1A? It looks like the apartment I used to have. Is it your apartment, yes or no? Uh-huh. The court, please say yes or no. Don't say uh-huh. Yes. Plaintiff's counsel, with the court's permission, I ask the court officer be permitted to hand the pointer to the witness. The court, certainly. If you can, just stand up a little bit and approach the diagram. Okay. Would you point to Gilbert's room? Here. Are you familiar with your son's grooming habits? Defendant's counsel, I object to the form of the question if it please the court. The court, the objection is sustained. Now, the apartment you used to live in, how was the heat in that apartment? Hot. And what were his habits, if you are familiar with your son's habits, in terms of keeping his window open? What do you mean? Defendant's counsel, I object. The court, objection sustained. Are you familiar with your son's habits in relationship to keeping his window open or closed? Defendant's counsel, I object. The court, objection sustained. What, if anything, unusual happened that afternoon in your building? I was in the kitchen. Someone knocked at the door. Did you open it? I opened the door. Who was there? It was one of my son's friends. Who was your son's friend that had knocked on the door? His name is Paul. Did you say that your little daughter had said, Mommy, there is someone saying that a man is screaming? Defendant's counsel, I object on the ground of hearsay, and what's more, contrary to fact, if the court please. The court, I think that was testified to yesterday without objection. The objection is overruled. Defendant's counsel, objection to form, Your Honor, as well. The court, the objection is overruled. That you could hear because someone was screaming from the top of their lungs as they were coming down the stairs. Which of your daughters made that statement? The one who was coming from the Girl Scouts. How old is she? Now? No, then. She is 20 now. I do not know how old she was. Was she 13? Defendant's counsel, objection to the leading. The court, I will sustain it. What is her name? Iris. The man that was screaming and running down the stairs, do you see that person here in this courtroom? Yes. Can you tell us where he is? The man over there with the greenish suit on. Defendant's counsel, indicating the defendant, I will concede. The court, all right. You have your concession, counsel. Had you ever seen the defendant before that day? Yes. From where did you know him? From the building, from in front of the building, the stairway. Did you know where he lived? Exactly, no. Did you know what building he lived in? They used to come up the hall where I lived. Did they go past your floor? Yes. Do you know if he lived with anyone, the defendant? The court, I don't hear your answer. From what I understand, he used to live with a lady. Did you ever see him with another woman in the building? No, just that same lady. Would you see them from time to time in the building together? Uh-huh. The court, please answer yes or no. Yes. The woman you are talking about